And we're back after a long sabbatical, I guess we call it. Ignore the boxes. I've been moving around a little bit and been itching to make some YouTube videos. Finally got to catch up on a few videos out there, and I got a long way to go. Been about a month. Today is Tuesday, July 26th, so I figured I'd get out there. Today's music is brought to you by Planet of the Apes. And I still got a few things that I wanted to start out with. I figured I'd come back with a big production and all this stuff, and to be honest with you, I'd rather just get back to normal on a few things, and good to be back. So some videos I got planned for the future: a review of Genesis Kirby number 0. I've got a few Captain Victory and a few Silver Star that popped up on my other videos I got for a quarter piece. I've read those and wanted to review on them. Got a few things to say about the DC-52 there that I might do another video, but this video, excuse me, this video is going to be on some quarter comics. Is there no one to rescue me? Favorite new coffee cup. But anyway, this video is some quarter comics. And I've got a few videos where I go to this comic book store in Princeton, West Virginia called Legion Lost, I think that's what it's called. And I had a weekend there where I got to travel around and just was having no luck. Money's been a little bit tight. Hopefully that's going to change here pretty soon. Yeah, no biggie, that's just life. And before I got to the quarter comics, found one place, found some magazines, 2 for $1. Found an old Wizard Edge and an X-Files book. So I was kind of getting desperate. I was like, I don't want to waste a trip. Haven't read those yet. Then found another little place where I just ended up buying some comics. And I started regretting a few things because the comics were pricey, and they had a bunch of Astro City I need, a few Dark Age books. And I'm an Astro City nut, so. But I could not do it. Just could not. I'm such a cheapskate. But anyway, I found another copy of this that I plan on framing. This is Superman Man of Steel number 37. I got it for $1. And I already have this, but if you look real closely, it's not good in here. But what's going on, of course, it's 0 Hour from early 90s. And that was, time was messing up. Crisis on Infinite Earth was over, but they did not go back and fix time. So, it's technically a spin-off of Crisis there. And Superman started meeting all of these versions of Batman. And on the covers, the Frank Miller Batman, Adam West Batman, the Red Rain, what was it? He's a vampire, Red Rain or something, I can't remember. But you kind of get the idea. From the 40s all the way up until the early 90s, Neil Adams Batman. So I'm probably going to end up framing that. Got some frames back here that I've had left over. Oh, sorry thing. Take them out. I've already got a start here. Some of my favorite covers. Stick it in there. I did find an Astro City pretty cheap. This thing was $4 when it came out. It was $2.50. It's a one-shot special. Now, I started waiting on this book for years because Alex Ross got interviewed in a Wizard magazine where you actually saw him and Kurt Busiek talk about, how to make a villain for Astro City. And they made the, oh my god, I'm forgetting his name. Anyway, this guy. And they said, well, we'll stick him in a story one day. Well, I honestly think it took like about 8 years. And my god, what was his name? It was something, well, going blank on a YouTube video, things were back to normal. It'll probably pop in my head. And found a flea market. I had to go back and forth in these. They were pretty cheap. I have a record collection. Got the Saturday Night Fever in like perfect condition. This thing looks like it just came out of the store. For those of you who remember Saturday Night Fever. And yes, I like the Bee Gees. No shame. They're not all winners, but I never really had that whole. I remember being like 8 or 9 years old, and on the radio they would say, "No Bee Gees weekend." When the bubble popped on disco and the backlash hit, and kind of hurt. I was like, poor guys, And I got this, $3, The Monkees, and the album is Practically Perfect. This is from 1966. And on this album we had the theme for the Monkees, I Want to Be Free, Last Train to Clarksville, you know, Going to Buy Me a Dog, which I love that song. I don't think it was ever on the TV show, and if it was, you know. What I think is funny though is it gives you their stats back here. Meet the Monkees. Talks about their hair color, their eye color, and their height and where they're from. They were from all over. So glad to get that. So, you know, pretty much I thought it was a bust. Started, you know, kind of regretting spending some of that money. No big deal yet, you know. And then it happened. Ended up in Princeton. Oh yeah, got Flashpoint #2. Now, I don't know what's going on around here, but these Flashpoints are impossible to find. I don't like paying $4 for it, but I'm kind of enjoying what's going on there. I have a DC reboot video, and it's killing me because I didn't want to give it all away, and I actually had the email where I talked about Atlantis and Wonder Woman being at war. Missed opportunity there, but you know, there's a few things that are hitting, so I'm kind of into it because I can compare what I came up with 5 years ago. Moving on, since you guys have lasted this long, but anyway, hit Princeton, could not, you know, about to leave, still didn't find anything. Thought I'd wipe this place out, and then they had a box. And in the box it was labeled Indie Comics or something. And what they did is they just threw in a bunch of comics from 2008. These are practically brand new. Now these are all for $0.25, and this just shows you that patience is a virtue. Alright, Justice League number 21 from 2008 sightings. This is actually where you see Libra in the red flame, the human flame. It's kind of a little bit of a prequel about how they got the Martian Manhunter there and what was going on. Okay, moving on here. Got the whole Booster Gold set. Now, I absolutely hate Booster Gold. I have hated him from the get-go. I cannot stand that character. And my brother told me a story that I completely forgot, that in Justice League International back in the 80s, I was probably like about 14, and my brother said I scared him to death. I had no idea that I had scared him. And I said, well, what did I do? He said I was reading Justice League International and they brought in Booster Gold. He said I threw the comic across the room and said they're putting Booster Gold in my damn Justice League. Apparently I was pretty pissed. He had never seen me. I mean, he's seen me mad. We'd wrestle around, you know, brothers and stuff. And then I turn around and I throw a comic, and that scares him to death. Anyway, throw back there, Booster Gold 0. In the new series, Booster Gold apparently is the greatest hero you'll never know of. He's not a joke. Number 7. And he's gone back to save Ted Kord, which he does. And I've got this whole arc about the repercussions of trying to change the past. Time travel stories give me a headache. John Byrne. We got the Justice League back. International, you know, times travel. And I figured I wanted to check this out. My son and I are Blue Beetle fans. You know, the Ted Kord Blue Beetle. And then we go into, I think Chuck Dixon wrote these. I haven't read these yet, but apparently it goes back in time. There's a Batman and Robin in there. And a little Batgirl there. But I've just despised the character, and my friends know it, and they've read, you know, I think they were reading 52, and I love Rip Hunter and those older 50s guys, and they more or less were like, uh-oh, Tim, they were giving me warnings about what was going on, because I was getting ready to say if they end up having Rip Hunter be Booster Gold, I'm going to be pretty mad. And it turned out to be his son, and I'm dealing with that. Okay, now, the good stuff. Quarter comics, all for $0.25. Batman and Robin #1. I've already got one, but I'm not going to pass it up for $0.25. Grant Morrison, Frank Quitely. Let's see if I can do these in order. Well, you guys are grown up. We might do it. Number 4, $0.25 a piece. Let's try not to skip around. 10. Apologize for the lighting in here. 11. Number 6. I'm interested in reading about this Flamingo because I know people that are actually crazy about him. And number 5. I don't know why, but I really like that cover. Looks like Mobius did more than Frank Quitely. Alright, I don't know if you guys will be too interested in this. This is a little personal treat of mine. The Jim Shooter run of Legion of Superheroes. I've got huge holes in it. And I am sure that I bought some doubles here. But like I said, they were $0.25 and I was in a rush. 39, Princess No More. And Jim Shooter, for you guys that don't know, started at 13 or 14. He was sending in paper of just, I don't know if it was notebook paper or typing paper, but he was writing Legion stories, and they did not know how old he was, and that's how he got started in comics. He didn't know what a script was, he didn't know anything, so he was drawing the actual comics, and he was putting in the word bubbles himself all by hand. And DC never knew this guy was a kid. Alright. So, for him to return to Legion was a little thing for me that I thought was just, cool, full circle here. And of course, for whatever happened, DC screwed him. Jim Shooter was difficult. Who knows? There's all kinds of stories about Jim Shooter. I don't care. I love how the guy writes. That's all that counts for me as a fan. Alright, and then there was a little run on Superman there that I absolutely wanted to get at the time. And I just, for whatever reason, I didn't get it. Well, here it is. James Robinson of Starman fame writing Superman. Here is 677. And here's why I wanted to get it, because it has Kirby's Atlas, 678. Alex Ross covers. And I think these are 4 issues. It's just a fight. I flipped through them. I love them. I actually love this cover, 679. Yep, great stuff. And I don't want to get onto a thing, but as much as I like Krypto, the Dog of Steel, I find it completely ridiculous that an alien planet would have dogs. And I actually got this idea that maybe that it was actually a Kryptonian animal that's able to mimic other creatures, and it just thinks it's a dog. It got to Earth, and that was one of the first things it saw, and it turned itself into a dog. Now, what kind of world do we live in to where I can't accept another planet might have dogs, but I can accept that, there's shape-shifting creatures out there that'll mimic, whatever it comes across. Too much TV as a kid. Alright, got a little bit of Jeff Johns writing some Action Comics from 2008, 864. I like this one because if you look real close, there's Bizarros, there's Wonder Woman, Solomon Grundy, looks like Earthman. So I'm not sure what's going on here. Now I also have a run of comics where it's Superman in the Legion of Superheroes that he did, so I don't know about the numbering, but I say this is getting pretty close if they got Earthman on there. Moving on. Toyman, which that is just a creepy, perverted cover. I don't know. Just weird. And this is the one I wanted. I heard this was a great story. It's the reintroduction of Brainiac, Part 1. 866. We got Part 2. Moving on, guys. 860. And then Part 3, where we actually see the Brainiac. And Part 4. And this cover has some controversy because he's sitting there with his pop, and Superman was originally drinking a beer, so now they had to put soda pop on it. This is Action 869 for you guys that really want to look it up, because I know you can't see it here. But they had to recall the issue and put out one that said, soda pop on it. Alright, moving on. Grabbed a Hellblazer here, Garth Ennis and Steve Dillon, number 63. This was supposed to be an incredible run. He had a thing where he finally got lung cancer and he tricked the devil. I got my Prisoner Part D, and much like Colston Bromstar, I have a huge problem reading the miniseries if I don't have them all. So now that I have them all, I can go back and read this. This is from the 80s, based on the 60s TV show. We'll see what we got there. Alright, now for you Marvel nuts. We're into Marvel. If you guys have stuck in here, maybe I need to do a Part 2. No, we'll just go through here. I'll go quick. Alright, Marvel Zombies Evil Evolution. And I wish I did not get this. I don't care if it was for a quarter, but it's the Marvel Apes versus the Marvel Zombies. We'll see. I like monkeys. I read DC Silver Age monkey stuff, so we'll see if it holds up. Marvel Zombies 4, number 3. I think that is supposed to be like a Doctor Strange zombie or something holding a man thing. We'll see. Great Greg Land cover there, number 4. Marvel Zombies number 5, number 1. That is Machine Man. Man, the light is awful in here. Yeah, I think I already had that one with a different cover. Then we got number 3. They threw in some Howard the Duck, the quackiest night. And a number 5. All for a quarter. I hope that's not supposed to be Machine Man. Alright, and I'm going to be putting these on eBay, or if somebody wants to throw me an offer out. But we got a whole bunch of Deadpool. Apparently this whole series, Mark with a Mouth, is based on movie covers. So we have Deadpool with Scarface. Looks like aliens to me. I can't place this one. It's blowing my mind because I know what it is. Anyway, and number 2, Jaws there. There's no number 1 in this. Okay, number 7. 1,000,000 years BC, Tiger doing a little, looks like he goes to the zombie world. Marvel Zombie World number 8. I don't know if I want to part with that one. That's a Raquel Welch tribute. Number 9, which is kind of cool because that's The Graduate. Number 10, can't place that one. Lone Wolf and Cub here, getting made fun of. Kind of cool. And he's got his skull instead of the baby. And a little Nirvana tribute here with number 12, which cracks me up, and I'm just glad he doesn't have a dingling hanging like the baby. Number 13, Silence of the Lamb. And then we come up to something I'm kind of looking forward to, but I don't know, and there was no number 1 in this, but I went ahead and got it anyway. Captain America Reborn by Brian Hitch and Ed Brubaker, and these were $0.25 a piece. I got every one of them except for number 1, which is, you know, maybe if I do some digging, maybe I do have it. 5 by 5, and it leads right into who would, you know, wield the shield. So I get to catch up on a few things. Okay, guys, I might play around with this, and I don't know if there'll be an intro on it or not. It's just good to be back. Like I said, I got a few other videos planned. I've been catching up on quite a few of the videos here in the last day or two. Seems like I missed a whole lot. I made a few comments. Cromdell1, somebody you might want to check out. He's a big buddy of Compton Bromstar, from what I tell. The guy has a really cool, and it's almost sweet and funny at the same time, video. He does his video with a Modal, and you know, the whole regular community there. Cacti 88 got some really good books in that I saw. Constant Bromstar apparently is on vacation, and he looks like he's doing videos here and there. Looks like his wife's doing well, and you know, just play with my channel there and check out the guys that I got favored there. Great channels. Alright, later guys.